June 17th, 1977.
The edge of night.
Yeah, come in.
Evening.
Evening.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Don't lie to your doctor, Mrs. Drake.
Doesn't really do me very much good, does it? I mean, you seem to know a lot more about how I'm feeling than I do. And then if you don't know, you just look it up in that little chart of yours.
This little chart doesn't give me anything except your blood pressure and your temperature. Just like that. Doesn't say a thing about the mood you're in. A little depressed, maybe?
A little.
I hope I didn't have anything to do with that, even indirectly.
What do you mean?
Well, I understand you had an unexpected visitor, my wife.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Kavanaugh came by and introduced herself.
Sorry about that, Nicole.
Why? But there's no reason to apologize. This is a small hospital. Seems to me the wife of the chief physician should have visiting rights with the patient.
No, she doesn't have that right at all. But you are something of a celebrity, and I guess she was curious to meet you.
I'm not a movie star.
Oh, you know that. You've had stories written about you in the press. You're married to a famous attorney.
That's the only thing I'm afraid Mrs. Kavanaugh didn't quite understand. I really am very happily married. In the full bloom of pregnancy, almost.
What did he say to you?
Oh, nothing. Nothing really. Look, this rotten mood of mine has absolutely nothing to do with your wife. Just the evening blues setting in. Not having heard from the father of my child for so long.
He hasn't called you yet?
No, he hasn't. The least.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's all right. I had a visitor, so I don't feel totally rejected. Draper Scott came to see me. Well, if you really want to know the truth, Draper Scott came to see your younger sister.
I know. I met him in April's room. If you want the truth, the only reason I let April stay in the hospital was because of that visit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She's pretty much over her hepatitis, and if she won't agree to that operation, there's no point in her staying here.
You mean she chose to stay just so she could see Draper?
Yeah. Strange, isn't it, for a little girl that says she hates hospitals so much?
Oh, I don't think it's so strange. That's the power of romance. You've heard of it, haven't you?
Yes, I've heard of it. Come on now. See what you sound like. Of course, there is another reason that April is reluctant to leave Claremont. She's gotten very fond of you.
The feeling is mutual. I'm going to miss her terribly.
Oh, no, you won't. You're not going to have the chance. She'll probably be visiting you every day.
Do you think so?
I practically guarantee it. Just a little apartment, you know. Right here in town. It's only a 10-minute drive to the hospital.
Yes, she did tell me she lived nearby. Is your home close?
Nope, afraid it isn't. Denise didn't want us to get a place near the hospital. She thought I'd be tempted to spend too much time here.
Well, that makes sense.
It makes sense to her. It's really inconvenient for me. For example, I didn't know she was coming back this early, so I scheduled a whole bunch of early morning meetings. Now I'm either going to have to keep on staying overnight at the hospital or go home and get up before the crack of dawn every morning. Now listen, you're not interested in my petty problems.
Sure I am. You're interested in mine.
Look, Nicole, I'm really sorry that... Well, I know that loneliness can be one of the worst problems that a hospital patient can have. And, if I do have to stay at the hospital the next few days, my evenings are going to be free. I don't know, are you any kind of a game player?
You mean as in Chinese checkers?
Well, how about just checkers? Or chess? I haven't met anybody who plays chess in years.
Oh, I'm not awfully good at it, but I do play. I like the
Terrific,
game.
terrific. We will have the first annual Claremont chess tournament.
Why not? Sounds marvelous. Oh, dear. Will you excuse me? Hello. Oh, Nancy, hello. Nicole, have you heard from Adam yet? Nancy, I haven't heard from Adam yet. I'm totally convinced at this point that he's going off to Africa on safari, or maybe he's climbing Mount Everest. No, he isn't. He isn't doing either of those things, Nicole. He's in Monticello. Adam's here? Mike wanted me to wait to call you until after Adam might have had the chance, but frankly, my dear, I just couldn't wait anymore. He called just a little while ago and said that he was phoning from the airport. Where was he coming from, did he say? No, just that he's back and he was heading straight for the office and that he was going to call you when he got there. Well, I guess he hasn't gotten there yet because I haven't heard. Oh, Nancy, how did he sound? Is he all right? Well, Mike said he sounded tired. Oh, golly. Well, maybe I'll just give him a call. No, I won't do that. I'll wait and let him call me. Oh, Nancy, thank you for making this phone call. Can't tell you how good that makes me feel.
Yes, Bill, I read Kevin Jameson's story in the news. You didn't give him much to work with. Certainly wasn't a retraction.
There isn't going to be a retraction, Mike. The commissioner wants to give one. He can call a press conference.
Bill, you made the statement. He can't speak for you.
You don't know the commissioner, Mike. He'll say the whole thing was a big mistake. He'll say that Chief Marceau authorized the arrest of Mike Carr with the full knowledge that it was justifiable.
You realize how serious this could be, though.
Mike, how much more serious can it get? You're charged with murder.
I haven't been convicted.
No. And I don't intend to help Ira Paulson get a conviction either, no matter how badly he wants one.
You really think he wants a conviction?
I'm not saying that he doesn't do his job. I just get the feeling that Ira's leaning over backwards in this particular case, Mike, because you're who you are. Maybe in a way it's understandable, you know. Maybe he's getting some satisfaction on it, but because you and Adam have made monkeys out of him and his boys so many times.
I still can't believe there's any personal malice.
Well, what about Adam? What's happening to your partner?
I can't tell you much, Bill. He flew into Monticello this afternoon, headed straight for the office.
Oh, you going to see him?
No, he said he wanted to get something down on paper first, then he'd call me later tonight.
Wonder what he's come up with.
Having the faintest idea.
Got to be something in connection with the Richardson case.
Yes, I'm sure of that much. He's chasing some theory he has about the murder, but he's refused to tell anyone what it is.
Mike, supposing he's found the murderer. Does that occur to you? The whole problem might be solved. Right in Adam's office.
Well, yes, Nicole and myself, just to be patient, not to worry about where he was or what he was doing. Not even to expect to hear from him until he had everything worked out.
Typical of Adam, isn't it? The last of the lone wolves.
Yeah, that's the way he operates, all right. But in this case, I wouldn't count on the lone wolf pulling any rabbits out of a hat, if you'll excuse the lousy metaphor.
On the other hand, Mike, Adam has very often come up with solutions to cases where everybody else has been stumped.
But he didn't even say that he had a solution. He may still have only a theory.
I hope he can explain one thing, Mike.
What's that?
Inez Johnson. Mike, she's the key to this whole thing. Believe me, there has got to be some explanation for this woman's adamant story that she saw you shoot and kill Bill Richardson.
I'd like to hear that explanation, too, since I did no such thing.
I know damn well you didn't.
But, Bill, how do you know? Because you're my friend? Because you believe in me? Because you know I'm the type of guy that would never commit a murder?
Of course.
But what if you didn't know? What if you weren't my friend? What if you had nothing to go on but the evidence of your eyes and ears? Would you still feel the same way?
You know, you're beginning to sound just like Luke Chandler.
All right, Luke's a friend of mine, too, but he's not as blinded by that friendship as you are.
What are you trying to do, Mike? Destroy my belief, my confidence in you? No way you're going to do that.
I mean, you want to give me a signed confession? Fine. Let's go down to headquarters and I'll take your statement. Okay, Bill. I won't argue the point. Listen, Mike. I knew you were innocent long before you were arrested. Believe me. And if Adam can't prove your innocence, I'll prove it myself. Bill, you can't do anything overt. It'd be too risky for you. I'll prove it even if it costs me my job, Mike. What the hell is that?
Chief, just one more shot, huh?
What's going on here? Somebody you know, Bill? It's a reporter from the Star.
Oh, come on, fellas, one more shot. Sir, I couldn't help overhearing, Chief Marceau, your remark about, possibly quitting your job. Tell me, sir, is that for publication?
Would you look this way, Mr. Carter?
Bill, how would you like that camera wrapped right around your neck?
Oh, I'd love it, if I could get a picture of it.
Come on, Bill. Let's go. Let's go.
I think I got a good one.
Yeah, I think I got a good one, too. Oh. Thanks a lot, Joe. I appreciate the telephone call.
Lori! Hello. This is a surprise. Where's the baby? He's at home with John. Uh-oh. Something's happening. What is it? Can I stay here tonight? I know Timmy's in my room, but I can sleep on the couch. I've done it before. I don't mind. Lori, what's the matter? I just want to stay somewhere where people don't yell and scream at you all the time and accuse you of being some kind of a monster. Please let me stay here. Please. You're shaking like a leaf and you're cold. But are you sick? No, I'm all right. I don't know. Maybe I'm not all right. I'm not according to Johnny. You could hear some of the things he called me. Had a fight? Well, it happened. Do you want to talk about it? There are some things you just can't solve just by talking about them. You know that. You've been through worse things. Yes, dear, I have been through worse things. I mean, I've just come through the most horrible nightmare I've ever experienced because it separated me from your father. But because we were able to work it out, honey, that's why I'm back here with him. But you didn't do that just by sitting down and talking. Oh, no. I had the worst fight. It was just... I said awful things to John, and he said that I wasn't a good mother for J.B., that I don't love J.B. at all anymore. Now, wait a minute. I'm sure Johnny didn't mean that about your not caring about the baby. However, I do think that there's truth about the baby needing more attention. You think so, too? Lori, we all know how upset you've been because of what's been happening to you. Why am I the only one that's upset? That's what I don't understand. I mean, what's the matter with everybody else? Deaf, dumb, and blind. Don't you see what's happening? No, dear, we understand only too well what's happening. More than you realize. Oh, you are upset. You just don't ever show how you feel. You're not everybody. You just never show how you feel. Lori, there just isn't any point falling apart or not doing things that have to be done. That's all that I was doing. I was just doing something that had to be done. J.B. was acting up, and I spanked him, and Johnny then turns around and accuses me of beating him. Oh, well, some fathers are notoriously soft-hearted when it comes to their little boys. J.B. was just screeching, and I can't stand those high-pitched screams of his. I just think he does them on purpose sometimes. Okay, well, children certainly do learn quickly to get attention, except they are still babies, Lori. I know. That's why they can do what they want. Would you like some tea? No. Well, why don't you wait until your dad comes home? He's having a drink with Bill. Wait for Dad to come home. We'll all have a nice family chat. You could convince me how foolish I'm being. I know you think this nightmare is over. But that's just an illusion, Mother. Don't you know that? Just because you pretend that everything's all right doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. Inside, you know that. Maury, don't go away. You don't want me here any more than Johnny wants me here. Don't say that. Don't worry about it. I'm going home. I'm going to tell Johnny I'm sorry, and I'll tell JP I'm sorry. And everything will be just fine. It'll be just perfect. Yeah. Oh, hello. I was just talking about you. With my brother, I suppose. I just saw him go into his office. Uh-huh. He was here just a minute ago. Well, it must have been a very depressing conversation because he didn't look very happy. And again, he doesn't smile too often anyway.
We seemed pretty happy when he was here a little while ago. I mean, we made a date to play chess.
Did you really?
Uh-huh. Do you play? Want to join? We'll have a tournament.
Oh, no. At least you're in a good mood.
Yes, I am. And I have good reason to be. Did you see that phone?
What about it?
Well, any minute now, that phone is going to ring. And on the other end of that phone is going to be a beautiful voice. Alan Drake is back in town.
Oh, Nicole, I'm so glad. Boy, I know how worried you've been. Oh, thank you.
I am relieved. I don't mind telling you that. Oh, I feel so good. I'd like to take the whole wide world right into my arms and give it a hug. Yeah, I'm carrying on. You walked in here with a great big black cloud hanging over your head.
Don't worry about me. I kind of expected to feel this way.
You did? Why?
You know why? Just knowing it would be the last time I'd ever see Draper Scott again.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Do you really know that? Did you two discuss the subject?
Yes, I told him that I'd be leaving the hospital soon and that you'd be the only patient here to visit.
Uh-huh. What do you say to that?
That he was going to visit you.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything about calling me or making any arrangements to visit me or anything like that. I don't blame him, though. Who wants to date a girl who lives 100 miles away? It's not very practical, is it?
No, I don't suppose it is.
Maybe it's just as well. Maybe fate arranges things for the best. Oh, maybe the people who are supposed to be together are the people that circumstances bring together.
It occurs to me that circumstances did bring you two together, didn't they?
Yeah, maybe that was just a mistake. Well, in fact, I'm sure it is. Do you know that Draper Scott and I don't even have anything in common? We don't like the same books, don't like the same movies or composers or almost anything else.
Well, it doesn't seem to me that books and composers and anything else is really all that a man and woman really need to have in common.
But I guess we'll never find out.
Ethel Kavanaugh, you are a pessimist. What's more, you're not very ingenious.
What do you mean?
Do you really want to see Draper again?
Of course I do. Don't tell me to move to Monticello. That's not possible.
No, that is a little drastic, but you do live within 10 minutes of the hospital,
Yes.
And you do intend to come and visit me,
Well, every day if you want me to.
Well, then, when Draper Scott is visiting me, there is no reason why you can't be visiting me, is there?
No. No reason at all.
Alexander Graham Bell.
Talking to yourself?
Oh, no, I was talking to him.
Alexander Graham Bell?
No, my husband. You see, it was Mr. Bell who invented the telephone. It took a man like Adam Drake to turn it into an instrument of torture.
He still hasn't called you?
Isn't that incredible? Now, Nancy Carr said he came into Monticello over an hour ago. Now, you'd think he could have called me by now.
I'm sure there is some very good, reasonable explanation.
I don't doubt that for 1 minute. Takes a man like Adam Drake to give me an explanation that would make me be happy to hear from him by Christmas.
Isn't there any place you could call him?
Well, now, there you see, he is at his office. But I can't call him there because I'm not supposed to know he's there. You see, it's all a surprise.
Oh, I get out. Well, maybe you just better get your mind off the subject. And what better way to do that than a game of chess? Well, you do remember discussing our playing a game of chess tonight, don't you?
Yes, chess.
Chess.
Sorry if I look blank.
You wouldn't believe where I found the chess set. I knew there was one here in the hospital somewhere. I'd seen it, but I didn't know where. I went to the solarium first, and looked in the games closet there. No luck. And all of a sudden, I did remember. You know little Harold? The kid that helps clean up in the kitchen? Well, it seems that he and the cook have this tournament going. Look, are you really in the mood to play this?
Oh, sorry. As I said, I'm really not all that towards the game, but that's not the reason.
Do you want some advice?
Please.
Since your husband can't surprise you anymore, you know he's in town. Why don't you surprise him?
You think I should call him?
Why not?
Why not? Thanks, Doc. You know something? I'm beginning to feel better already. No. It's busy.
Well, at least you know he's there.
Yeah, that's true. Guess even a busy signal is some comfort. What have I done?
Well, you just gave me your pawn. Him and I can take it.
Ah, well. What's one little pawn among friends?
Well, you don't want to give him up unnecessarily. This is the beginning of the game. You don't want to take risks like that.
That's just a little like my pregnancy, isn't it? We have to be mighty careful in the early stages.
Watch yourself.
What?
Well, your bishop's under attack. See that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice.
Do you and your husband play chess often?
No, not really. Well, we did when we first met. But after we were separated, after our forced separation, we didn't really have all that much time. Adam was busy keeping me from being checkmated.
Yes, I know you've both been under a lot of pressure.
Still hasn't stopped. At least not for Adam. He's been out there, heaven knows where, while I'm nice and cozy here. He's trying to do something about that terrible murder charge of my cars.
You know whether or not he succeeded?
I don't know a blessed thing. All I know is that I haven't seen him in days or talked to him, that he happens to be back in his office doing heaven knows what, talking to heaven knows who, and why he isn't talking to his wife, heaven knows why.
You have the damnedest laugh.
Do I?
Yes, I'm not one of those people who finds laughter contagious, either. As a matter of fact, some people's laughs make me frown.
Ah, now that's something I wanted to talk to you about, Dr. Kavanaugh. You've got to be careful about frown lines.
Well, there's one thing, whenever I hear you laugh, it makes me smile.
That's good. Because smiles will counteract those frown lines. Wait a minute. What are you doing to my queen?
Oh, she's still safe for the moment, anyway.
That night looks very dangerous to me.
Yes, well, you've got to watch out for the knights. They make very tricky moves.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wouldn't have done that. See what happens next?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
My knight, that little tricky fellow, has a fork on your queen and your bishop.
Is there anything I can do about that?
Well, I think you better move your queen. Afraid you're not going to be able to save your bishop.
Oh, it's true. It's hopeless.
Look, I'm sure you're not able to concentrate on this game. Probably won't be able to until your husband makes the phone ring. Why don't you try and call him again?
I'm sorry. You wouldn't mind, really?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Tell you, I'm really kind of anxious to get in touch with Adam. I'm anxious to find out if he was able to do anything about Mike. I don't believe it. Still busy.
You sure it's the right number?
Of course, I'm sure I've called his number over 1,000 times. Just wonder if he could be talking to Mike. Cards on 2 numbers. Maybe I'll call Nancy and ask.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that?
You wouldn't mind? Oh, no. You're just about to beat me.
Winning isn't everything.
Hello?
Nancy, hello, it's Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. I need an answer to something. You do have 2 phone lines, don't you?
Yes, that's right, we do.
Oh, then please tell me that my husband is talking to your husband on one of those lines, is he? No, he isn't. I'm sorry, Nicole. Mike isn't home. He's having a drink with Bill. Oh, no. It's a mystery. I can't figure out who's keeping Adam from calling me. You mean he still hasn't called you?
No, he hasn't. Oh,
Look, I'll be honest with you. I broke down and tried to reach him at the office, but his phone's been busy for about the last 10 minutes. Look, I hope you're not angry with me. What? No, of course not. Why should I be?
well, because I wasn't supposed to know he was here in the first place.
Oh, please, Nicole, that doesn't matter. Listen, you have every right to try to... I just don't understand why he hasn't tried to reach you yet. Oh, here, wait a minute. Mike just... don't say anything to Mike. It's okay. I'm being really silly about this. Adam will call me as soon as he can. I'm sure of it. Oh, dear, let me talk to Mike about this. Listen, is it too late to call you back? No, they'll put an important phone call through. All right, dear. I'll call you as soon as I can.
Thanks, Nancy.
Bye.
What's with Nicole? Adam's phoned her, hasn't he?
No, he hasn't, and that's why she called me. Now, he did tell you that he was going to call her as soon as he got to the office, didn't he?
That's what he said, but he obviously had a lot on his mind from the tone of his voice.
Well, I'm sure he had his wife on that list, I hope.
Well, don't get indignant until you know the facts. He probably got delayed getting to the office, or maybe just decided to stop off someplace else first.
No, Nicole has called the office, and she's gotten a busy signal.
Well, how did she know he was going to be there? Okay, never mind. I don't blame you for springing the news on Nicole. I can imagine what a great relief it was for her knowing that he's back.
Well, now I'm kind of sorry that I told her, because I'm afraid I've just made her all the more anxious. Mike, I hope you're not upset with me.
Of course not. If I look upset, it's because of that friendly drink I had with the chief of police.
Oh, yes?
I warned Bill it might be risky. But the Monticello Star would be delighted to print that the man who authorized the arrest of my car would be seen having a drink with him in public.
What happened?
We were rudely interrupted by the arrival of a reporter from the Star, along with a photographer.
What, you mean they got a picture of you and Bill?
I fully expect to see our angry faces on the front page of the Star tomorrow. Headline, Monticello Police Chief meets with accused murderer.
What's people trying to do? Make Bill lose his job?
They're trying to sell newspapers, Nancy.
Oh, honey, with all the important things that are going on in the world today.
I don't mean to sound cynical, but people sometimes like to read about things that aren't always the most important.
Dear, why should it matter to anyone at all, that you and Bill get together? You have been friends for years. Why should that be news? Like this entire thing is being blown out of proportion, completely out of proportion. There really isn't any reason at all why anybody should think it's strange that Bill believes in your innocence. None at all. You've been his best friend.
And because I'm his best friend, Bill may be out of a job very shortly.
I don't know. What do you think might happen if that picture is published?
I can't say. Another explosion from the mayor's mansion. Probably another blast from the commissioner, and after that, it's anybody's guess.
Nothing's going to happen after that.
What do you mean?
I mean that maybe Bill ought to go ahead and continue making those statements. Because everybody's going to find out that you're innocent.
Yes, Nancy. Sooner or later, I'm sure they'll know.
No, I'm not talking about sooner or later, honey. I am talking about now. Right now.
Nancy, we can't expect miracles.
Why not? Why can't we, Mike? Adam is back. And he's done something. I'm sure he knows something about Bo Richardson's killer.
He didn't say that to me.
Well, maybe he isn't ready to tell you yet, but that's got to be it.
Are you sure you're not doing a little wishful thinking?
It is possible, Mike, isn't it? It is possible that Adam found something out.
Yes, Nancy. It is possible.
Who made the report, Rodriguez or Mulligan?
It was Mulligan, Lieutenant. Rodriguez was on his dinner break.
Have you heard from Mulligan since?
Yes, sir. He just said he was going to look into it.
Well, it doesn't sound very important. But keep me informed just the same.
Yes, sir.
Boys, Luke. So, Chief, any action? Oh, this is a pretty quiet night. If you came back expecting to find a bank heist or a riot, I'm afraid you're out of luck. So far, all we've had been 3 vehicular accidents with 2 injuries, a couple of robberies which are under investigation, a gunshot report, and our usual Monday night fights in the local bars. Well, night's young yet. Speaking of that, what's your night off? Why are you back here?
Because I have nothing better to do.
You could have gone to a movie or out to visit some friends.
I was visiting a friend. Didn't turn out so good.
What are you talking about?
Like the reason I came back, Luke, was to lick my wounds.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me you made another statement to the press.
Mm-hmm. I made another statement, only it's not printable.
What are you talking about?
I met Mike for a drink at the bar. Somebody informed that bloodhound from the Daily Star. The next thing I knew, there were flash bulbs going off all over the place.
So take a picture of you and Mike going out, shaking hands.
Not quite.
Uh-huh. But enough to do a smear job. And enough to keep you on the hold.
What difference does it make? The press knows how I feel about Mike. You know how I feel about this rotten, stinking indictment. So what difference does it make? They shouldn't be surprised that I have a drink with my closest friend.
No surprise. Just a little bit more gossip for the Star.
Yeah, that's all it is. Another excuse for a headline.
Or maybe an editorial calling for your resignation.
The Star can't ask for my resignation. Only the commissioner can.
And what happens if he does?
And they knock me down and they tear the badge away from me. That's what happens.
Oh, come on, Chief.
You know it's happened before. You know that enough public protest at City Hall, any protest, come on. Do you think the public wants my cause, Nick? Do you think the public wants to see the chairman of the crime commission found guilty of murder? It's idiotic.
I know.
Mike's a hero in this town. People looked up to him for years.
And people like heroes. They like them to grow big and tall. Because it's more fun when they come tumbling down.
Come on. Not Mike. That's impossible.
Chief, let's face it, there's a lot of satisfaction in seeing your heroes come tumbling down. I mean, people can feel awfully superior about it. Or maybe it's just simply a part of human nature. You know what the trouble with you is?
I'll tell you what the trouble with you is. You've gotten too damn cynical. That's your trouble. You've been a cop too long. You see only the worst side of people. I'm sorry, I'm in a lousy mood.
I understand.
Lieutenant,
I had a call back from Mulligan. Excuse me, Chief. This doesn't tell me anything.
what do you got?
It was a report of gunfire in the lawyer's building.
Lawyers, Bill?
Yeah. Patrolman John Mulligan was stopped by the elevator operator there and claims he heard gunfire on the top floors of the lawyer's building. So Mulligan went to investigate. That's a big building. There are 21, 22 stories.
You gotta get some help in covering this.
Well,
Who's on the beat with him?
this indicates that Rodriguez has joined him to investigate. Rodriguez is his partner, but it's not saying they're going to find anything. For all we know, the guy could have dozed and heard car backfire.
Mulligan say he heard any backfire?
No. But they're on top of the Chief. Let's wait to hear what their result is.
Did I tell you that Adam's back?
What?
Mike told me at the bar. Apparently Adam called him from the airport.
Airport? Where was he?
I don't know. Nobody seems to know. Have to wait for Adam to tell us, I guess.
Where is he now?
He decided to go to his office first.
You sure you want to play another game? Now, you don't have to humor me.
We're going to do much better this time. You're one game more experienced, after all.
I don't think it's going to make the slightest bit of difference.
Here we go. Left or right?
Left. Aha! It's white. Ah. You see? I'm starting off a winner. Chess pieces are really very beautiful, aren't they? Just look at how tiny that pawn is. How dignified that bishop. How strong, steadfast the rook.
What about the knights? So gallant, romantic.
Queen's very regal.
And the king?
Well, trade, distant gay, no? Standing so tall and straight.
Yes, but so vulnerable. So vulnerable. Can only make one move at a time.
It's interesting, isn't it? Sad. I mean, that the king can't even defend himself.
Mike, it's Bill.
Oh, Bill, how are you? Still upset about that incident in the bar?
Mike, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
I should tell you in person, but I don't have time, Mike. I have to get over there to the office. To your office.
My office? What for?
We had a report tonight. Gunfire, 3 shots, reported by the elevator man in the lawyer's building. Mike, they came from your place.
What?
The report's bad. I hope it's wrong, Mike. I pray to God the report is wrong.
Bill, was Adam shot?
Yes. The report is Adam's dead.
Adam?
Mike, it's Bill.
Oh, Bill, how are you? Still upset about that incident on the bar?
Mike, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
I guess I should tell you in person, but I don't have time, Mike. I have to get over there to the office. To your office.
My office? What for?
We had a report tonight. Gunfire, 3 shots, reported by the elevator man in the lawyer's building. Mike, they came from your place.
What?
The report's bad. I hope it's wrong, Mike. I pray to God the report is wrong.
Bill, was Adam shot?
Yes. The report is Adam's dead.
Don't spare the film, Larry. I want a shot of every inch of this place, okay? I'll take care of it. Chief, I'll talk to you in a little while, Sam.
Sam says it was quick. 2 of the 3 bullets hit him right in the heart.
We've got everything in hand, Chief. There's not much more you can do. Why don't you just leave this in my hands?
Adam Drake murdered?
You don't look so hot, Chief.
I can't believe it, Luke. I tell you, I can't believe it. He was my friend for years. Are people covering the building all right?
Chief, we've got 6 men who are wandering around the building asking people if they've ever heard any gunshots or if they've seen anything that might be useful. We've photographed this place. We've completely dusted it for prints. There's nothing more to be done.
Chief, look. I just picked up a word from Calvin. What the hell has happened?
A man was shot in his office. That's what happened. We've got enough cops around here now, so why don't you just walk off?
Hey, I know the guy, Lieutenant. He was a friend of mine.
This is a homicide investigation. This is not a friendship society.
Who did it, Chief? Do you know anything?
Not yet.
Do you know what the motive is? Is it connected with the Richardson case? Isn't there anything you can tell me?
Well, there's nothing we have to tell you because you're not assigned this case. So why don't you stop asking the chief questions, and why don't you just get out of our hair?
All right, Lou. All right.
Don't, Nancy. Don't.
I can't help it. Just can't seem to stop.
I know. It's a terrible tragedy. It's the worst possible news we could have heard.
I don't want to believe it. I want to think that it's a terrible mistake. It's true, he's really dead.
He's dead. Bill thought the patrolman who found the body might have been mistaken, but he wasn't.
So unfair. So horribly unfair.
Nancy, I'm going over there.
Could I come with you, Mike?
No, there would be no point to it.
No, please, really, I'd like to go with you.
Darling, you would only suffer more if you went over to that office.
Why? Why? Who could hate Adam that much to murder him?
Nancy, there's something else we have to think about right now.
You mean Nicole doesn't know yet? Nobody's called the hospital?
She hasn't heard the news yet.
Oh, my Lord, she's bound to hear it on a news broadcast.
Yes, I'm sure the press is aware of it by now. They'll be playing bulletins on every station. And if Nicole hasn't heard about it herself, someone else at the hospital will.
Oh, we can't let her hear it that way, honey. We can't. That'd be terrible.
Well, frankly, I don't think there's any way to break this news to her that won't be terrible.
Mike, we've got to do something. We've got to... I can't just call her on the phone and tell her it's so impersonal. It's so difficult.
You want me to do it?
No. No, just let me figure something out.
Are you sure you want to?
Yes, Yes, Mike, you go on down to the office. I'm sure that Bill needs you. You go ahead.
Okay.
Poor Bill, he's right in the middle of it. It has to be, even though it's Adam. It must be dreadful for him.
Yes, it has to be.
Well, I'll figure something out. I know what. I'll call a hospital and talk to the doctor. Maybe he can advise me.
Good idea. This news has to be broken to her gently, considering her condition.
Yes, I know. I thought of that. So you go ahead and do what you're going to do. And I'm all right, really.
Okay.
Played the black pieces when I used to play chess with Adam. He always insisted that I play the white.
Well, there's a one-move advantage.
And I could use all the advantages I could get. Not that it did me very much good. I don't think I ever beat him either.
Keep up this kind of attack, you're very likely to beat me.
I am doing rather well this game, aren't I?
You are. 2 pawns up. You ruined my castling. I say you have a very strong game.
Sure you're not just easing up on me?
Who, me? Not sure who's easing up. Check.
No!
It's nothing where you put your bishop right in front of your king. That'll take care of it.
Yeah, but it upsets me to have my king in check.
And we all identify with the kings in the chess game, I think.
Not at all. I identify with the queen.
Oh, really? You know what that means? That means that you're both very feminine and that you like power.
Really?
She's the most powerful piece on the board.
No, I think it's because she can move around any place she pleases. I like that.
Right now, you can't do much moving around yourself, can you?
No, I can't. You know, it's interesting. Adam used to say that about identifying with the king. I remember once when we were first playing, he picked this up and he said, "This is me." I'm sorry. Your move, Doctor.
Hey, what's going on? Did you start that chess tournament without me?
Sit. We're just starting our second game.
Well, who won the first one?
Oh, need you ask?
Oh, now listen, don't let her kid you. She knows exactly what she's doing. Just look at the situation here.
Oh, I can never tell who's winning or losing on
Come
the
on,
chess
April.
game.
She's 2 pawns up. She's ruined my castling position. She's got control of the center of the board. She's got the upper hand this time, I'll tell you that.
I I think he's just trying to make me feel good. He feels sorry for me.
Now, why would he do that?
Because I'm miserable, that's why. My husband's back in town and hasn't had the decency to even call me yet.
Well, I think he should be feeling sorry for himself. Look, if you move your night over here, and then the next move will give you a fork on both of
Hey, cut it out. Doesn't need any advice.
Sorry.
If you want to watch the game, it's okay. Just sit here and watch, but no kibitzing allowed from the sidelines.
All right. But I would just love to see you beat this egomaniac, Nicole. He always beats me.
That's because you play chess so carelessly, and you always move your queen around too soon. You take too many risks.
Well, that's just the way I am.
Yeah, not only in chess games. I'm sorry.
Doctor, please. It is your move. I think I have him completely baffled. Haven't I?
I used to think chess was just a game for intellectuals until I met Howie Upchurch. Do you remember Howie Upchurch, Miles? He was this really drippy kid I went to high school with, could barely spell his own name correctly, but he was really a terrific chess player. In fact, I think he became state champion even. Do you remember when he went to get his trophy? He had his T-shirt on.
What are you trying to do? Ruin my concentration here? Come on.
She wants me to win.
Well, okay. Here's your chance. Put me in check if you want to.
I certainly will. Check.
What? I didn't mean you should do it with your queen.
Oh, it's about time she did something in this game. Check.
You sure you really want to do that?
Oh, Nicole, be careful. I think Miles is using reverse psychology on you.
Do your worst, Doctor.
Well, okay, if that's what you really mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See what that does? That gives me a disclosed check against your king. Next time around, I'm going to be able to move my knight any place I want to. You won't be able to touch it. If you move your king, you'll be moving into check.
Oh,
Something tells me I've made a terrible mistake.
that's awful. Miles, you used reverse psychology on Nicole.
That's a new one. Come on, we'll take back last.
No, don't you dare. Now, look, I made the move. I'll live with it.
But look, you know what's going to happen right now? After this knight move, I move it here, and I got your queen.
Oh, no. Well, I don't want any special favors.
Well, could have at least made a few little concessions, though, no?
To what, the weaker sex?
Oh, please, now, come on, look. I tell you what, let's start this all over again. Let us just set up this board. We'll play another game, and this time, I'm not going to make any mistakes.
Sam, I'll be back at headquarters in about an hour. If you should need me for anything more, I'll be at my office.
Bye, Chief.
Steve? Luke, you don't have to wait around. I'll go back to headquarters with you, Chief. I have to wait for Mike. I'm in no hurry.
Chief, do you mind if I look around in Adam's office?
Go ahead. No splinters. Now the bullets are all in the body. The medical examiner will pass them to ballistics when he gets them out. Any other clues? Depends on what you call a clue, Sherlock. We surmise that the killer stood here in this door and pumped those 3 slugs into Adam.
Apparently the building was closed for the night. Man on duty downstairs says he remembers Adam coming in and signing in, but nobody else.
But obviously somebody else did come in, slipped by the night elevator man, and came up the back stairs, probably.
Chief, was Adam using the typewriter?
The cover was off the typewriter, but it may have been off for a while.
Briefcase is empty.
Is that important?
I don't know.
I noticed that there's no other papers on the desk here. But then Adam has been away for a while, hasn't he, Luke?
Nothing in the briefcase. No papers on the table here. Maybe the killer took them.
Chief, are you saying that robbery might have been the motive?
Well, that's the obvious explanation, since there was no wallet found on the body.
That was taken too, huh?
Well, we have to surmise that, but then you see, we don't know if Adam always carried a wallet or not.
He always carried one.
In that case, then it's gone along with whatever cash he had.
It couldn't have been simple robbery, Luke. That doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense is that somebody would kill a man for some papers he might have been carrying.
Are you saying that Adam was carrying some valuable papers, like stocks, bonds?
No, more like evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Here comes Mike.
Mike?
Hello, Bill. Mike? Body's been removed. We're waiting for a report from the autopsy. But there's no question how he died. 3 slugs, well placed.
Yeah. Bill told me. We don't know why, Mr. Carr. The chief here has been speculating that...
It's not speculation, Steve. Whoever killed Adam wasn't after the few dollars he might have had on him.
You're not thinking robbery, right?
Well, I don't buy that 100%. But the office was cleared out. This table was clear of any kind of papers. There's nothing in his briefcase. Ah, don't touch it. There may be prints on there other than Adam's.
He wasn't carrying his wallet. Did Adam always carry a wallet?
Yeah, always. And a note and a address book, too.
Well, those are missing.
Mike, his briefcase. Seems to me Adam always had a batch of papers in there, didn't he?
Yes, Bill. He was always bulging.
Empty now.
Well, now, Adam was away on a trip. He was away for 2 weeks. Now, he wouldn't necessarily carry his work with him, would he?
Luke, there had to have been something in this briefcase. Adam was gone for 2 weeks, came back to Monticello Airport, then came directly here to this office.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if he wasn't going to do any work, why would he come back here?
But what was he working on? There's nothing here, not a shred of paper, nothing.
Maybe he never got started to work. Maybe that killer got there in the doorway too soon.
And maybe there's another explanation.
What do you mean, Chief?
Maybe the killer showed up just in time to keep Adam from doing what he had to do. Prove Mike's innocence. You know, that's what he was trying to do for the past couple of weeks, Mike. Find out who the real killer of Bo Richardson was.
But we don't know if he came up with anything. We don't know if he succeeded.
Chief, do you think that maybe this is connected with the Richardson case?
That's right, Steve. There's a connection between that doorway and this desk. A straight line of bullets.
Chief?
To keep Adam from telling us exactly who killed Bo Richardson.
That is pure speculation. We don't have one iota of evidence to show that Adam found anything at all.
There would have been evidence, Luke, if it hadn't been taken.
By the killer.
So Adam died. Because he was trying to help me.
There. Take that.
All right, I will.
No!
It's all right. You can take my bishop right back.
Huh. Oh. At least we're even. The ball. Hello. Oh, yes. Yeah, he is. Just a second. It's the floor nurse. You have a phone call.
Oh, could you ask her to transfer it into this phone? I want to break my concentration.
Okay. Excuse me, Dr. Kavanaugh wanted to know if you could put the phone call through on this line. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, Doctor. It's a personal call.
Personal, that means it's some patient's relative complaining about the treatment. Okay, you got to excuse me.
Oh, no. Make your move first. This way, Nicole and I can figure out the best response.
Double team me, is that it? All right. Let's see. All right, do your worst. In some games, 2 heads are not better than 1. Excuse me.
Oh.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever seen your brother look so relaxed.
Well, it's a miracle, if you ask me, considering his dear wife is back in town.
It's a little surprised that he didn't stay here tonight. I'm sure she didn't really appreciate that.
Well, it's Denise's fault. She came back early, and Miles had already made these morning appointments, and there was nothing he could do about that.
I understand it's a long drive from their house.
Yes, it is, and you know why? Because Denise wanted to get as far away from Claremont as possible, so that when things didn't go well at home, Miles couldn't escape. Sorry. sorry, I shouldn't talk like that. I say far too many unpleasant things about Denise.
Oh, I think you're just being loyal to your brother.
Well, I hate to see him hurt, that's for sure. And with a wife like that, doesn't have much choice.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, that their marriage isn't a happy one. It's one of the most important things in the world. A happy marriage.
Yes, Mrs. Carr, what can I do for you?
Dr. Kavanaugh, something terrible has happened, and I thought that it would be best if I discuss it with you first.
What is it?
It's about Mrs. Drake's husband. I still can't believe... There's no other way. Doctor, Adam Drake is dead. He was killed a little while ago.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. It's incredible, but it's true.
How did it happen? What was it, a car accident?
No, he was in his office. He was shot to death. No, I don't think that Nicole ought to hear that part yet. I mean, I think that right now it's enough to know that he's gone. Of course, eventually she will have to know.
Yes, naturally.
And I'm sure that, she's bound to ask questions. Doctor, I've been afraid that Nicole might find out about it through a news broadcast or the newspapers. And, please, now, you'll have to advise me what to do here because I can't get out there. And, I can't simply tell her over the phone.
No, that would be a mistake. I'm sure you understand, Mrs. Drake's pregnancy is, it's still a high-risk situation. You know.
I know that. I thought about what effect the shock would have.
But she has to be told as gently as possible before it does come to her as an unexpected shock. I guess the only way to do that is to have me handle it.
You would? Oh, Doctor, would you do that? Please, I'm sorry to put the burden on you, but...
It's all right. It's one of the things a doctor is supposed to be able to do. Deliver bad news.
But if you moved your pawn here, that would block his knight from getting near your king.
Well, I suppose so, but that's just a defense. How about a good old-fashioned attack?
Well, they say the best defense is a good offense, no?
Now, look. Suppose I took the bishop, here, moved it out there. Now, he's got to take that knight, you see, and come into there. Now, I just take the queen, move it up here. He takes his rook.
Wait a minute. Well, how do you know he's going to move his rook?
Yeah, of course he's going to move his rook. Then I take my queen, and it's check.
Oh, and then he moves his king to get out of check.
And it's checkmate. Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor. Just got carried away.
Right. Come on, hurry up and play. I want to see how this game turns out.
Well, maybe the game can wait until tomorrow. It's getting pretty late.
Oh, no, you don't. Did you hear that, Nicole? He's afraid of you. That's the real story.
If I don't know, we have to play 2 games. Maybe it is kind of late.
No, it isn't late at all. Come on, Miles. I want to see if you can get out of this trap we've set for you.
Mind going back to your room?
Oh, but what for?
I want to talk to Nicole about something.
Oh, I think he just wants to get rid of your chess collaborator. Nicole, he figures the two of us together are invincible.
Hey, please.
Oh, fine. Oh, it's your hospital. Nicole, don't let him talk you out of finishing that game. And let me know if our plan works, okay?
I will. Good night, Ava.
Good night.
What is it? If ever I saw a harbinger of something or other, it's you, Dr. Kavanaugh.
That phone call that I got was from your friend, Nancy Carr.
Nancy? What'd she want? Why didn't she speak to me?
She wanted me to speak to you first. Something's happened, Nicole. Something very serious.
Scaring me. That's no way for a doctor to behave.
I'm sorry, even doctors don't get used to having to deliver painful news. I'd give anything right now not to have to tell you this.
Is it something about Adam?
Yes.
What is it?
Adam was shot tonight, Nicole.
Shot?
It's my impression that he didn't suffer. I can't tell you how sorry I am. Mrs. Carr thought the news would probably be on the air by now. I know you don't listen to your radio that
Miles,
much, but
what happened?
I don't really know. It might have been a robbery or a mistake or accident.
Has to be a mistake. They've mistaken someone else for Adam.
No, they haven't done that.
It is possible, Miles. People do make mistakes. Why are you so sure?
Because of who it was that called me. Because it was your friend, Mrs. Carr. I don't think she would have reported something like that unless it had been verified.
Well, I'll just give Nancy a call, find out the truth
Oh, look,
for
I
myself.
wouldn't do that right now. What I want you to do is just stay as calm as you possibly can. Now, Mrs. Carr was worried about what the news would do to you, do to your health. That's my concern right now.
I'm all right, Miles. I'm calm. I'm really
like to
all
give
right.
sedatives to women when they're pregnant, but maybe something very mild might be
Anything,
called.
Miles. All I want to know... Mrs. Drake, I'm so sorry. Did you tell her?
No.
Doctor, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come in
It's
here.
all right, Carol.
Carol,
Do
what have
something
you
for-
heard? What can I do for you, Doctor? Carol, what have you heard? You've heard something about my husband. Now tell me.
Nicole, I have just told you. Now, what you have to do is deal with it. You've got to remember that whatever you do from this point on, however you manage to get through the next few hours, next few days, next few weeks of grief, all of it is going to affect the child that you're carrying or your chances of giving it life.
Doctor, what was it you wanted me to do?
Get Dr. Voorhees for me. Tell him I want to talk to him about medication. Say it's very important.
You both could do me an enormous favor. I'd appreciate it a great deal if you'd leave me alone.
Go on, Carol.
Yes, Doctor. You too, Dr. Kavanaugh, please.
Nicole, just let me stay here until Dr. Voorhees calls.
Please?
All right.
Draper. How nice of you to call.
The real reason I'm calling is, I guess, to find out how Nicole was feeling. Although I can understand. I'm in a state of shock myself.
What are you talking about?
Oh, my God. Don't tell me you don't know. It's been the lead story on every news program in Monticello. It never dawned on me that it might not be the same up there.
Well, I know some things going on, but I don't know what.
Oh, I didn't want to be the first to tell you. I know how much you think of Nicole.
Well, Draper, now you've got to tell me. I mean, don't make me listen to a news program to find out what's... Has something happened to Adam?
Yes.
Well, Draper, what is it? Was he hurt?
He was killed tonight, April. He was shot to death.
Oh, no.
Police found him in his office a couple of hours ago. They don't know who did it or why. It seems as though it had been robbed.
That explains then what Miles did, the way he looked. Oh, Draper, I was just with Nicole just 5 minutes ago, and she was in such good spirits. She was so sure that the phone would ring any minute and that she'd hear Adam's voice.
She won't be hearing it now.
Draper, what's she going to do? She's so much in love with that man. She talks about him all the time. The reason she wants the baby so much is because it's his.
Oh, yeah. What about the baby? I knew her pregnancy was very shaky. I mean, how is this going to affect it?
Oh, I hate to think about it. I've got to talk to Miles. Miles is with her right now. I guess Miles is telling her what you just told me.
I don't envy him that job. I know how difficult it was for me to break the news to you. Hey, are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Oh, I wish I were there right now to be with both of you.
Draper, can't you tell me any more than you have? I mean, you're at the district attorney's office. You must have some connection.
All I know is that Adam was shot at his desk, shot to death. He came back from the Monticello airport and went straight to the office. He wanted to catch up on some work or something. I guess that's all I know.
Well, why would someone want to rob an office? I mean, people rob banks, they rob gas stations, someplace where there's cash. How could something like this have happened?
I don't know.
Well, are you sure it was robbery? I mean, are you sure it wasn't some maniac or someone that hated Adam?
I'm not sure of anything. The only thing I heard tonight was a news bulletin, and that's not even official.
Well, can't you call somebody, anybody, to find out what happened?
Oh, I guess I could call Chief of Police Marceau or Lieutenant on the force, Luke Chandler, that I know, or cop Steve Guthrie, but I guess they're all very busy with it now.
But Nicole is going to want to know what really happened, Draper. It's bad enough that she loses her husband, but not even to know the reason why.
I'm sure the police will know the reason why very soon. They may have already apprehended the killer by now.
Draper, do you think it has anything to do with this case that Adam's been investigating?
What case?
Well, Nicole said that the reason that Adam couldn't visit was because he was working so hard trying to help his friend Mike Carr.
I knew Adam was off somewhere doing God knows what.
Nicole knew what? She said that Adam was a very good sleuth and that if anyone could find the real killer of this man... what's his name? The man that Mike Carr is supposed to have killed.
Bo Richardson?
Yes. Draper, do you think there's any connection? It's a coincidence that Mike Carr goes... Adam Drake goes looking for a killer and gets killed himself.
You may have a point, but I don't think it really means anything.
But it is going to be investigated, isn't it? I'm not trying to tell you your business.
It's not my business. Look, I'm a prosecuting attorney. I'm not a cop.
Yes, I know. You're the man who's supposed to be prosecuting Mike Carr. So I guess you've already decided that he's guilty.
Look, the grand jury indicted the man. I didn't.
Well, you act like you have no responsibility. You're not a jury, you're not a cop, you're just a prosecuting attorney. Is that it? Oh, Draper, I'm really sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. Listen, I better go. I better go see Nicole.
Okay, Look, maybe I'll give you a call tomorrow just to see how the two of you are doing, all right?
Okay, thanks, Draper. Good night.
Oh, please. Hi, April. Hope you don't mind a late night visit. I'm very late. What are you doing here at this hour? I just thought I'd drive out to the hospital. After all, it is the only time I get to feast my eyes on my husband.
That coffee's got to be ice cold.
Doesn't matter.
You haven't taken a sip out of the damn thing. And you also haven't said a word for the last 10 minutes.
What's there to say, Luke? Just waiting for the ME's report, that's all.
Chief, there's nothing to wait for. The medical examiner is not going to tell us anything we don't already know. 3 bullet wounds. 3 shots in the chest. 32 caliber or 38 caliber. My money's on the 32.
All right.
And there's no need waiting for a lab report. We lifted at least 200 prints from that office, and you know how long it takes to sift through those. Chief, there's not going to be any more action tonight. You've had enough.
Just knock it off, huh, Luke?
I think you'd be better off at home, in bed, resting.
You want to give me some advice? Then tell me who the rotten louse was that... Yes? Kevin, how'd you get up here?
I just walked in. I guess the guys at the front desk thought I was expected. I guess you know why I'm here.
Clues, Kevin, not yet.
What about the murder weapon?
We found nothing. Absolutely nothing. Though there was something missing.
I understand the tentative motive is robbery. Now, what would any thief want to steal from an attorney's office?
Damn little cash, you can be sure of that, but there may have been something else they were after.
We don't know just how much cash he had on him. And on the other hand, there have been a lot of robbery-motivated homicides in which the amount of cash has been negligible. I mean, for example, just this past week, there was an elderly lady who was mugged and strangled for $4.
This was no mugger. This was no petty thief.
Sounds like you know who it was.
No. We don't know anything.
Luke, there's got to be something we can print about this.
Something you want to print? All right, print the facts as you already know them. You want a statement from the chief? Okay. You print this. Chief William Marceau of the Monticello Police Department promises that this murder investigation will be thorough. He also states that an arrest can be expected any moment.
Luke, don't kid me. That doesn't mean anything. Bill, this is the biggest story to hit this town in 10 years. They're not going to buy any pre-digested pap about imminent arrest. My God, this is Adam Drake who was murdered. I can't believe it myself.
Believe it, it's true.
Look, no one's going to buy this robbery thing. I can't convince anybody of that.
Well, his wallet is missing. His desk was rifled. The stuff on top of his desk is gone.
Briefcase was empty. All the papers in it missing.
If there were any papers in it, we don't know that for sure.
Look, we know what Adam was up to. He was trying to get a line on the murderer of Bo Richardson, and I don't mean my car.
Damn it, Kevin, you newspaper guys have been insinuating this long enough. You make the chief look as if he knows the man he's arrested is innocent, which makes him look like a fool or a hypocrite.
I didn't print that, Luke. It was the Monticello Star, and I happen to agree with Bill that Mike is innocent.
And Adam knew it. That's why he went out there. That's why he found something. That's the way it happened. I'm sure of it. He had this crazy hunch about finding Richardson's killer, and I think he found him and nailed him.
Kevin, you print that story, and I will come down to the Monticello News and break your neck personally.
You really think that Adam was killed because he knew the truth?
Kevin, I'm sure of this and anything in my whole life. Believe me, money had nothing to do with this.
You hear me? Anything the chief says is off the record.
It's on the record, Kevin, and I want you to print it. I want to see it in big black type in tomorrow's headlines.
You tell me what you want to say, and I'll print it.
You print it, and tomorrow there'll be another homicide on page 1.
Get out of this, Luke. You print it, Kevin. You print that Adam Drake was killed by the same man that killed Bo Richardson. Killed to prevent him from talking, from proving the innocence of Mike Carr.
You print that, Kevin, and you put Bill Marceau out of a job.
Kevin, that's my statement. If you won't print it, I'll give it to the Monticello Star.
Isn't Miles' fault that he's been staying at the hospital these past few nights?
Oh, yes, I know. He keeps scheduling these early morning meetings. And, of course, the house is really quite far from the Claremont. Naturally, he doesn't want to get up that early in the morning.
Miles didn't know you were coming back from Land's End this week, Denise, and he just couldn't rearrange his plans overnight.
Oh, I don't know why not. I did. As soon as I realized how bored I was and how much I missed my husband, well, I just bought an airplane ticket and came on home.
Oh, look, you're just going to have to go talk to Miles about this. This is really none of my business.
Really? When did you discover that?
Oh, Denise Stone, I'm really in no mood for an argument tonight.
My dear girl, I have no intention of arguing. There's only one subject that I'd ever argue with you about.
Yes, I know, the pacemaker. You know, sometimes I think that that's the only topic that you and Miles can agree on. Sorry.
Where is Miles anyway? I checked his office. He's not upstairs in his little hideaway. Can't still be giving evening rounds.
He may be.
But it's so late. Why, those oldsters must be all tucked in bed by now.
I really don't know, Denise.
Of course, some of the young ones might still be up and around. Mrs. Drake, for example. Ooh. Well, I think I just may have hit a nail on its head.
Don't, Denise. You obviously don't know what's happened.
What?
Something terrible has happened.
Oh, what?
Well, it's Nicole's husband. He was killed.
My God. How?
He was shot to death. He was murdered just a few hours ago.
My God. How awful.
Oh.
She wouldn't let me give her anything. She didn't even want any company.
Well, Miles, I think I should go to her.
No. She asked to be left alone. Look, she's in a state of shock now.
Poor woman.
What are you doing here, Denise?
Well, I just came by to visit. Do you mind?
I told her what happened.
Unfortunately, there's not much any of us can do here. I tried to remind her about her health. Tell her to keep as calm as she could. But how calm can you stay under circumstances like these?
He was very young, wasn't he, her husband?
Anyone is too young for this kind of thing. What'd you do? You hear about this on the radio?
No.
What'd you find out?
Well, Draper Scott just called me. Miles, how is she going to be able to handle this?
I don't know.
Maybe you shouldn't have left her alone.
She insisted. I don't see how I could have refused. I told Carol Barkley to look in on her every few minutes.
Mrs. Drake?
Mrs. Drake?
So I'm waiting to hear from Dr. Voorhees about what we can do for her. Medically, I mean. Said it is not very desirable when a woman's pregnant.
Miles, if there's anything I can do, No, I don't suppose there is any.
Oh, Miles, I really think I ought to go to her. I'm her friend.
Dr. Kavanaugh.
What's the matter?
She's gone.
What?
Mrs. Drake is not in her room. She's gone. Miles, that's my car.
Is it Nicole?
I parked it right out front. I know how you love to drive it. I thought you might run me home.
It's Nicole, Miles. She's running away.
Carol's Famous Wiggle gets weeknights at 6. Jerry Turner and Al Sanders join you for Channel 13's Eyewitness. Carol's Famous Wiggle gets weeknights at 6. Jerry Turner and Al Sanders join you for Channel 13's Eyewitness. Afternoon, I'm Harry Reasoner. John Mitchell, one of the most powerful men in the country during the Nixon years, went to prison today for his Watergate crimes. And in Chicago, nearly 100 persons are indicted in a massive welfare scandal. Join Barbara Walters and me for this and more tonight's Evening.